Hello, America. This is Christa
and Mario,
coming to you live from Washington, D.C., where Barack Obama will soon become the next president of the United States.
Actually, we'll let you in on a secret. You see, we couldn't afford to attend the real inauguration, so instead, we're going on a virtual field trip here in Mr. Z's Classroom TV studio at Amherst Middle School, New York.
Our class assignment was to share our thoughts with the next president. Since we already use Adobe's Visual Communicator to make green-screened newscasts, we decided to use it for this project too.
All we needed was a simple camera, a green screen, and a computer with Visual Communicator.
So we began by watching President Obama's weekly videos on his change.gov website and looked at their proposed agenda topics.
From there, we wrote our scripts and discovered that even within our own classroom, there were many different views on the same topics.
We'd like to thank SchoolTube.com for hosting our videos and wish Mr. Obama good luck as he begins his term as our next president.
What you're about to see are the voices of our generation.
Enjoy!
I think that it is a good idea that Barack Obama is going to make sure there will be emergency plans for catastrophic events. He is also going to rebuild New Orleans and the Gulf Coast. I think this is a good idea because they were not prepared for Hurricane Katrina. So many families were separated and many lives were lost. People lost pictures and memorabilia. Things that helped them remember the past are now gone forever. This tragedy could have been prevented if there was a precise evacuation plan.
I have confidence that you, as our new president, will work to get us out of this economic crisis. And so I think that in order to employ more people, taxes on small businesses should be lowered. Then we could employ more and bring the unemployed off the streets. Also, I think that if we pull out of Iraq, there's a better chance of the war coming here on our own soil. If we need to deploy more troops to Afghanistan or take some from Iraq to Afghanistan, then that should be our #1 priority. But we should not completely pull out of Iraq. Ending the war in Iraq will solve nothing. It will only undo the progress we have made there. In doing so, we leave the nearing stable government alone to fend for itself.
I think your tax cut plan is incredible. Times are rough nowadays, and cutting high taxes is huge. Cutting taxes is big also because it's hard paying taxes when trying to send your kids to college. At the same time, I think you will make the biggest change that a lot of us have experienced. Thank you.
I think that your plan for investing in women's savings and securities is very positive. However, it doesn't address one important issue. Why do women make 77 cents for every dollar men make? Over the years, women have been fighting for rights and are in need of change. If you say that you bring it, then hopefully this issue will be resolved.
I think the war in Iraq needs to be over. Too many American soldiers have lost their lives. The families of the soldiers are hoping every day that their loved ones will come home soon. At first, the war was just supposed to be training for Iraq, but now I think it is a full-out bloody war. These men and women have been fighting for 8 years, and I believe we haven't gotten anywhere. And too many people are missing their families, so please bring them home.
I think the idea of reforming the No Child Left Behind Act is a good idea. I believe that teachers should not be preparing students to be tested on what they already know, but they should be preparing students for their future in college. Also, I think that it is a good idea for Barack Obama to educate women and increase awareness of ovarian cancer. Please continue to help our nation, especially in places it is strongly needed.
I think since it's President Obama's opinion that matters the most, it's great that he's willing to take his time to listen to us students. I'm curious if Obama would buy and drive one of the million plug-in hybrid cars he plans to have on the road in 2015. I'm also curious about how Obama plans to provide jobs to all the auto workers who were one of the 760,000 and more unemployed in 2008. I'm very glad Obama plans to make the U.S. a leader on climate change, such as using renewable resources for our electricity.
I believe that we should not raise the minimum wage. If companies are forced to pay high wages to workers, then many small businesses will stop hiring and lay off many workers so they can afford to pay others. Even though some people will be doing better financially, then others won't even be able to get a job.
I believe the President-elect Barack Obama is wise in his decision to end the war in Iraq, to preserve and restore our military. The war in Iraq that seems so endless will hopefully end in the near future. This will hopefully save the lives and the mourning of families, because sometimes you don't realize the importance of someone or something until they're gone.
I believe that all men are created equal, as stated in the Declaration of Independence. But what about women? Although it's still progressing, women still only make 77 cents to every dollar a man makes. Also, more than 19 million women are uninsured in this country, and they're more likely than men to delay or to not get medical care at all. Lastly, it's very important to start cracking down on fathers avoiding child care payments. I believe that with Obama now in office, he'll greatly change our nation for the better.
I think that medical scientists should continue stem cell research. I, personally, am pro-life, but I'm a practical person. Why, when you could use them to save a life, would you throw away an embryo? What makes it more morally correct to throw it away rather than to use it to save another human life? If it's too late for the embryo to have any other place in the world, its place should be saving another life. I support Barack Obama's opinion on stem cell research.
I think Mr. President-elect Obama has countless ideas which will advance the quality of lives of many Americans. I believe that he should focus on building our economy, and then when the economy is stable, it will be easier to resolve some of the other problems such as poverty among the American cities and the countless Americans who are in debt. How do you think the country will turn out if our economy is stable?
I think an important issue that will affect people of our age is women's rights. Since we are only in 8th grade, young women want to grow up to an environment where we are even more equal to men than we are now. Something offending to women is that they only make 77 cents for every dollar a man makes. Why is that, and what can you do to fix that? Thank you for your time, and good luck in office.
I think President Barack Obama should focus mainly on ending the war in Iraq. America is spending way too much money on the war and isn't focusing on the national problems. If we spend the money that is being used in Iraq more wisely and put it to better use, the USA could resolve more national problems facing our country and citizens. If Mr. Obama can reverse the issues facing the U.S., there's no doubt in my mind that he will come across as a phenomenal president.
I believe that women should have equal pay as men. Men should not make more money than women, even when they have the same job. For every dollar that a man makes, a woman makes 77 cents for the same work. Equal pay has happened for men and women in Illinois, and I think it should expand nationwide. This problem has been going on for decades, and I think it has the ability to be fixed easily with this new presidency.
My question to President Obama is, what will your reactions be about the Israel-Gaza incident in the Middle East?
The most important thing that you should do as president is lower income taxes. Americans pay a lot of money in taxes to the government, but there never seems to be enough. The government wants to keep raising taxes all the time, but where is the money going? If people didn't have to pay so much in taxes, they would have more money to spend on more important things, and that would make the economy stronger. Also, it would be great if everyone in America had health insurance coverage, but that plan is not realistic. The money for a health care plan would have to come from somewhere, which would mean higher taxes for a lot of people.
I believe that the poverty issue is very important in this country. Over 37 million people in the U.S. are living below the poverty line. I like your idea of raising minimum wage and helping low-income workers. These people deserve a better lifestyle, and poverty problems should be resolved.
I think that giving equal opportunities to people who have disabilities is a very important issue that needs to improve. The Disabilities Education Act needs to come into play. There should be funding to get children who need some extra help from machinery the machines they need. Also, discrimination against them should stop, and promoting equal opportunity is important. Healthcare plans should be cheaper for them unless jobs will be made for them to work to their abilities to make a living to survive off of. When you talk about allowing Americans with significant disabilities the choice of living in their community rather than having to live in a nursing home or other institution, I think that is a really good idea. Many people with disabilities are forced into living in tight spaces with other people of their kinds, when truthfully they just want to be treated like everyone else. Finally, research and funding should be set out to find cures and ways to help fix or prevent the disabilities from affecting humans. Thanks for your time, and I can't wait to see your first 4 long years in office.